I was pulling out my chair at the dining table when my nephew's foot shot out and kicked it away from me. The chair scraped loudly across the hardwood floor. "Servants don't sit with us," 11-year-old Carter announced, looking directly at me. "Mom said so." The Sunday dinner conversation stopped. 18 family members, my entire extended family, stared at the scene unfolding. My sister Vanessa smiled into her wine glass. "Carter, that's not polite. But you said Aunt Marga is basically the help. You said she serves us." Uncle Richard laughed first, then my brother-in-law, then my cousin Jennifer. Within seconds, the entire table was laughing. Not uncomfortable chuckling, genuine laughter. My mother covered her mouth, but her shoulders shook. Carter looked pleased with himself, foot still positioned to kick the chair if I tried to pull it back. I looked at my sister. She met my eyes, still smiling, and shrugged as if to say, "Kids, what can you do?" I picked up my purse from the entry table and walked out the front door without saying a word. Behind me, I heard Uncle Richard say, "Well, that was dramatic," followed by more laughter. I sat in my car for a moment before starting the engine. The house I'd just left, the sprawling colonial where Vanessa hosted these dinners, looked warm and inviting through the windows. Inside, my family was sitting down to a meal, probably already forgetting I'd been there. I drove home. At 9:47 p.m., my phone buzzed. "Vanessa, finally gone." 2 words. Not "are you okay?" Not "sorry about Carter," just "finally gone." I stared at those words for a full minute. Then I walked to my home office and unlocked the filing cabinet where I kept my most important documents. 3rd drawer down, a folder labeled Harrison Family Trust. I'd established the trust 7 years ago, not long after I'd sold my tech company for $47 million. I'd been 29, suddenly wealthy, and wanted to ensure my family was taken care of. The trust held $12 million, enough to generate substantial annual income for the beneficiaries. Vanessa received $120,000 annually. Her 3 children each had education funds worth $500,000. My brother, Thomas, got $80,000 annually. His 2 kids had similar education accounts. My mother received $60,000 yearly. Various cousins, nieces, and nephews, all receiving distributions or had funds set aside. The trust documents were clear. I was the grantor and trustee. I had full discretionary authority to add or remove beneficiaries. The trust was revocable at my sole discretion. My family believed the money came from a distant relative, Great Uncle Bernard, who had supposedly left a fortune when he died. I never corrected them. It was easier than explaining that I'd funded it myself. They thought I was the struggling single woman who worked in tech at some vague middle management job. Meanwhile, I'd exited my company as co-founder and CEO, invested wisely, and built a portfolio worth north of $60 million. I pulled up my lawyer's contact information and sent an email at 10:03 p.m. "David, please prepare immediate revocation documents for the Harrison Family Trust. I want all beneficiaries removed and the trust dissolved effective immediately. Transfer all assets to my personal accounts. Process this tonight if possible. Marga." David called at 10:17 p.m. "Marga, I just saw your email. Are you absolutely certain about this?" "Completely. This trust supports your entire family, your sister, your brother, their children." "I'm aware." "What happened?" I told him about dinner, about Carter kicking the chair, about servants don't sit with us, about 18 people laughing, about Vanessa's text. Silence on his end. Then Jesus Christ. "Can you process the revocation tonight?" "I can draft the documents and file them electronically. The trust administrator can execute the transfers by morning." "But Marga, this is $12 million. This is going to devastate them. They've already received distributions for this quarter. Those cleared last week, so they got their money for the next 3 months. After that, nothing." "You're giving them 3 months' notice?" "I'm giving them more than they gave me." They took about 3 seconds to laugh at me being physically excluded from the family table. "All right, I'll process everything tonight. You'll see confirmation by 6 a.m. After we hung up, I typed a response to Vanessa, like your inheritance. I turned off my phone and went to bed. At 6:14 a.m., my phone was already ringing when I turned it on. Vanessa, I let it ring through. She called again immediately. Again. By 6:30, she'd called 14 times. The email from David arrived at 6:22 a.m. Trust revocation complete. All assets transferred to your accounts. Beneficiaries will see 0 balances when they check today. Documents filed with the county. It's done. At 6:45, a text from Vanessa. Call me right now. Something's wrong with the trust account. I didn't respond. My brother Thomas called at 7:02. I answered. Margot, what the hell is going on? I just checked the trust account and it shows zero. The whole thing is empty. That's correct. What do you mean, that's correct? Where's the money? I revoked the trust. The money's back in my accounts. Your accounts? That's not your money. That's family money, from Great Uncle Bernard. There is no Great Uncle Bernard, Thomas. I made him up. I funded that trust 7 years ago with my own money, $12 million of my money, and I've dissolved it. Silence. That's not possible. Check the trust documents. I'm listed as grantor and trustee. The trust was revocable at my discretion. I exercised that discretion last night. Why would you do this? Because last night your nephew physically prevented me from sitting at the dinner table. Because he announced that servants don't sit with the family. Because 18 people, including you, laughed. Because Vanessa texted me finally gone, like she was celebrating getting rid of me. Margot, Carter's 11 years old. He meant exactly what Vanessa taught him. That I'm beneath you all, that I'm the help. And you know what? I'm done paying people who think I'm their servant. This is insane. Vanessa depends on that money. The kids' college funds should have been protected by their parents, not their aunt who apparently doesn't deserve a chair at the table. I hung up. By 8 a.m., I had 37 missed calls. By 9 a.m., someone was pounding on my apartment door. I looked through the peephole. Vanessa, still in her pajamas, hair uncombed, face blotchy from crying. I didn't open the door. Marga, open this door right now. We need to talk. Her voice was shrill, panicked. I waited. The trust is empty. $12 million is gone. Carter's college fund, Emma's, Jackson's, all of it. The accounts show zero. I still didn't open the door. This is because of last night? Because of a stupid joke? She was crying now. You're going to destroy my children's future over a joke? I called through the door. It wasn't a joke, Vanessa. Your son physically kicked a chair to prevent me from sitting down. He said servants don't sit with the family. You smiled. Everyone laughed. Then you texted me finally gone. That wasn't humor. That was cruelty. I didn't mean it like that. How did you mean it? You always make things awkward at family dinners. You never talk to anyone. You just sit there judging us. I sit there quietly because every time I open my mouth, someone makes a comment about me being single, or childless, or working too much. Last month at Mom's birthday, you told everyone I was married to my laptop. 3 months ago at Easter, Uncle Richard asked if I was a lesbian because I don't date. I've learned to stay quiet. So you're punishing my children because your feelings were hurt. I'm stopping financial support for people who treat me like hired help. That's not punishment. That's consequence. Margot, please. That money, it's not just fun money. I budget around it. The kids' college funds are their entire future. My annual distribution covers Emma's private school tuition, Carter's hockey league, Jackson's. You should have thought about that before teaching your 11-year-old to kick chairs and announce that I'm not worthy of sitting with the family. He's a child. He was repeating something I said without context. What context makes servants don't sit with us acceptable? Silence from the other side of the door. Then, you're really not going to fix this? There's nothing to fix. The trust is dissolved. The money is mine. It was always mine. We'll sue. We'll get lawyers. I am grantor and trustee of a revocable discretionary trust. I have absolute legal authority to dissolve it. Any lawyer will tell you that. Save your money. I heard her slide down against the door, sobbing. I felt a twist in my chest, but didn't open the door. After 10 minutes, she left. Over the next week, the family assault came in waves. My mother showed up on day 2, begging me to reconsider. Think of the children, Margot. They're innocent. The children watched 18 adults laugh at me being physically excluded from a table. They're learning that cruelty is acceptable. Maybe this will teach them differently. Thomas sent a 5-page email detailing all the ways the family had been there for me over the years, conveniently forgetting that most of those instances involved me writing checks. Uncle Richard left a voicemail calling me a vindictive bitch who was destroying the family over nothing. Vanessa sent 43 texts over 3 days. They started with apologies, moved to bargaining, then landed on threats. I'll tell everyone what you did. The whole family will cut you off. Mom will never speak to you again. You'll regret this for the rest of your life. I didn't respond to any of them. On day 8, my cousin Jennifer called. She'd been at the dinner, laughed along with everyone else, and received a modest annual distribution from the trust. Margot, I need to say something. I'm not calling to beg for money back. I'm calling to apologize. I was silent, surprised. What happened at dinner was awful. I laughed because everyone else was laughing, and I didn't want to make waves. But I've been thinking about it all week. Carter physically prevented you from sitting down. He announced you weren't worthy of eating with the family, and we all just laughed. Yes. That was wrong, fundamentally wrong, and Vanessa's text, finally gone, that was cruel. You didn't overreact. We were horrible to you. Thank you for saying that. I know I don't deserve to ask this, but would you consider talking to Vanessa? Not about the money, just about what happened? I think she genuinely doesn't understand how bad it was. Jennifer, she texted me, finally gone. She understood exactly what she was doing. You're right, I'm sorry. I hate seeing the family fall apart. The family fell apart when everyone decided I was beneath them. I'm just making the financial reality match the social one. After we hung up, I sat in my apartment and thought about Carter, 11 years old, being taught that some people don't deserve chairs at the table, being taught that family can be divided into those who serve and those who are served. I opened my laptop and drafted an email to David. David, I want to establish 3 new education trusts, $500,000 each for Carter, Emma, and Jackson. The funds will be accessible when they turn 25, not 18. Conditions. They must complete a 4-year degree and 1 year of volunteer service work. The trust will be managed by an independent trustee, not me. And Vanessa will have no access to or knowledge of them until the kids turn 18. I don't want them punished for their parents' behavior, but I want them to learn something about service before they get this money. Draft the documents. Marga. I hit send, then opened a new message to Vanessa. Your children's original education funds are gone, but I've established new ones under different terms. They'll learn about them when they turn 18. The funds will require them to earn degrees and complete service work before accessing the money. I won't tell you the amounts. You'll have to trust that I've taken care of them, despite you teaching your son that I'm the help. As for your annual distribution and everyone else's, those are gone permanently. Get used to living on what you actually earn. And Vanessa? I'm not the one who destroyed this family. You did that when you taught your son to kick chairs. I sent it before I could reconsider. Her response came within minutes. I hope you're happy being alone with your money. I replied, I'm happier than I was trying to sit at a table where I wasn't welcome. I blocked her number, turned off my phone, and looked around my quiet apartment. No family dinners. No holiday obligations. No more pretending that writing checks made me worthy of basic human respect. The next morning, I donated $5 million to an organization that provided meals for homeless families, people who understood what it meant to be excluded from tables, people who knew the difference between servants and family. Some people inherit wealth. Some people inherit cruelty. And some people learn, eventually, that you can't buy respect with trust funds, but you can stop funding disrespect. One kick chair at a time.